Hello and welcome to the Families of Elements Labs. Another word for families, just so you know, is groups. And that's where we're talking about the columns on the periodic table. Just as a beginning note, notice that I have my safety gear on. I've got on protection over my clothing. I've got protection for my eyes with the safety goggles. And I have my hair tied back. So if you will look at your student sheet, you'll notice that the first thing that we are going to do is add some different salts it says to a well plate, but I'm going to use a test tube to make it easier for you to see. So the first one that we're adding is sodium chloride, which is just table salt. All right, and as you can see, that's just a clear solution. And then the next one is sodium bromide, NaBr. Again, it's just a clear solution. And then our last salt is sodium iodide, NaI. And then this one, you can see it has a little bit of a color to it because of the iodine that's in there. So then we get to the point where we're going to mix together the silver nitrate with each one of these salts. So I'm going to get just a little bit of silver nitrate. Try to make sure it was going in there. And then we're going to see what happens when I put that in there. So you can observe that. Looks cloudy to me. Looks like it's forming a precipitate, which would be an indicator of a chemical reaction. And next I have the silver nitrate that I'm going to mix with the sodium bromide. And again, you get a precipitate that occurs. It's no longer clear, it's all cloudy. That solid is dispersed in there. And then finally, for the first part of our observations, I'm going to add the silver nitrate to the sodium iodide. And it's a little bit cloudy at first, and it cleared up. I'm going to add just a little bit more just to see. There we go. Now it's nice and cloudy. And I don't know if you can tell by looking on your computer, but it's a little bit more yellow, again, from that iodine that's dissolved in there. All right, so that's the first table, or the first half of the table. Then the second half of the table, instead of halogens, which are from group 17, which is what we just did, we are working with alkaline earth metals. Those are in group 2. Or compounds with alkaline earth metals. So the first one we have is magnesium nitrate, that's MgNO32. And then our second is calcium nitrate, CaNO32. And then our third alkaline earth metal compound is strontium. Didn't get the best test tube in this one. It's a little bit cloudy already. This one's strontium nitrate, SrNO32. And then lastly, we have barium nitrate, BaNO32. All right, so we have our alkaline earth compounds, and we're going to add sodium carbonate to see if something happens, which is Na2CO3. So this is our magnesium nitrate, and we're mixing it with sodium carbonate. As you can see, it gets very cloudy. So another precipitate has formed. So a reaction, chemical reaction. All right, next we have our calcium nitrate that we're mixing with the sodium carbonate. All right, and then you can make your observation for that one. And then the third one down on the second half of that table is the strontium nitrate. We're mixing it with the sodium carbonate. Looks kind of milky. And last but not least, the barium nitrate, mixing it with sodium carbonate. So you see that all of the alkaline earth metal compounds react in a similar fashion with the sodium carbonate. So at this point, you'll want to make sure that you have all of your observations filled in on your table, and you can now go to work on your conclusion and also your sources of error. Thank you very much.